Miss Marvel has a lot going on in terms of Kamala getting comfortable with her powers and who exactly she is. On top of this, the show drops a pretty major bombshell on us that connects to her powers and what exactly is going on here. And Kamala isn't all she seems to be. Not quite human, not quite inhuman, something else entirely. So earlier in the series, we ended up learning something interesting thanks to Bruno, and that's that Kamala's power comes from the inside. She somehow has these powers, but the Bangle unlocked it and sort of is almost like a focus to a degree. Now, if you guys want to hear everything we're going to talk about here in way more extensive form, our audio commentary will be out. Now, let's just get back to what exactly we find out in this. So essentially, Bruno has another update. Kamala's powers are even more complex than previously thought. Not only do they come from within her and they connect to this veil, which again, we know they do, which still there's a lot to be said about what exactly that veil is and, you know, what this other world is and how everything is connected. It goes a little beyond that. They do come from within her, the powers, except they're a mutation. Yes, they use that word. Her powers are a mutation within her. She has this compared to her family because none of them do. So she is in essence a mutant. Now, again, they're still playing very loose and careful with what this means and how they're gonna, be using it. But for all intents and purposes, yes, Kamala is the first named mutant in the MCU. Now, this is quite a shocker because, she's an Inhuman, but they're still playing, loose with that as well. So could it be that they are going to go down the route where, Inhumans, mutants, other things that fall into that, like the line of, hey, you're not quite human, but your subhumans are all going to be referenced to as the same thing? Like, they're just like mutations, they're different, they're inhuman and all that, because that's what it feels like. And honestly, they leave a lot open to interpretation and discussion and, of course, getting back to down the road. And I'm super interested to see how they're going to pull this off, because if Kamala is our first mutant, or at least the first named one, it's going to be interesting to see what they do and what they do with her, in the future, in the Marvels or whatever, and how they're going to tie all this together, because, this is a lot to take on, especially if they're going to say now, well, mutants have been around. Is Professor X going to show up in the next season? Is that what we're getting? There's a lot that happens here. That revelation was honestly shocking. It was more shocking than actually saying she's an Inhuman, to be real with you. So, I wonder how the fan base is going to take this and what's going to happen and, what they're going to drop in terms of detail soon. But overall, this is pretty awesome. It's a great development and a twist that I don't think many people saw coming. So we're probably going to have more info soon and teases, but overall, Kamala's our first mutant in the MCU.